Okay, so a really exciting beer kit review here. You know, everyone knows, it's no secret that I'm a fan of Muntons beer kits. You know, ever since I started homebrewing, I've kind of started with their kits and progressed on, and they've got better, and you know, they've been the kind of the mainstay of a lot of the kits that I've purchased, and they do a high proportion of the beer kits that you find in some of the shops are from Muntons themselves. So anyway, I've been lucky enough to be selected to receive a free kit from them to review. This is a new kit coming out to the market, so I can't really tell you where you can buy it currently at the moment, because I guess that's subject to the stockist stocking it. It does retail for $29.99. That's the recommended retail price. Whether or not it will be cheaper than that at your other ones, but what I'm quite excited about is it is a premium kit. So first of all, a very fancy looking box. This is empty, but I'll show you all the contents down below. But this is a West Coast IPA, and in this range there are, I think, is it on the box as well? Yeah. You can also get a hazy IPA, an American Pale Ale, American Amber Ale, and a milk stout. That one I'm really keen to try. But a West Coast IPA. This is good. Right. So, to be expected, the usual 2 cans. So this is a 2-can kit. But where it gets quite exciting, well, there's several things. First of all, a US-05 yeast, which is fantastic. Kit yeasts have got better over the time. I know a lot of them, people will know that they're repackaged yeasts anyway, but to have an actual US-05 in there, I think most home brewers would have probably used it at some point to kind of bump their kit up and pimp it, if you like, and make it a little bit better. So that's a really good start. And then we get a 1 kilo brewing sugar. That's to bump up the ABV of the beer, because this is meant to come out at 7% with 35 pints, so that's quite cool. And then 3 bags of hop pellets, 100 grams, no, 30 grams, sorry, each. We've got Chinook, Columbus, my favourite, and Summit. So 3 dry hop additions, and one of the coolest things, because if I'm honest, I don't know what other kit it comes with. I'm sure there's another one out there, and that's how I acquired my bags. It's this little straining bag, which might seem so insignificant, but when you've dry hopped and then you're siphoning your beer, that will go on the end of your siphon tube or cane or racking cane, whatever you're using, and stop the pull of all the hop debris that are going to go in and kind of make your final beer a little bit more kind of bitty than it needs to be. So that's a fantastic addition, and in my opinion, every beer kit really could have that in it. Every beer kit that's got a hop addition, if you like, because obviously you don't need it, but that's superb. So a fantastic kit. I mean, as soon as I opened it and saw US-05, I was like, we're on to a winner. So it can only be good. Fantastic instructions as well. Got quite a nice kind of like A4 booklet, but really kind of good diagrams taking you through the whole process. I'm not going to film the kind of opening up of the cans and that. It literally does take you through. It tells you what other equipment you need if you haven't already got it. As you've seen me on my channel before, it's really just going to be a case of settling these in some warm water to soften them up, opening them up, adding them to the fermentation vessel with some warm water, or boiling water really is better, and get your brewing sugar in there. But make sure you get all that dissolved first before you start adding the rest of the water, because I've made that mistake once and never again. Is where you're pouring it all in, you put your cold water in, and then right at the bottom, and then you don't want to be sticking your arm in to the very bottom to stir the last bit of that malt up. And once it's kind of at that ambient temperature, it's going to be a good slog to and that could really mean a slow start to the beer, because it's going to be not properly dissolved, and it could just end up ruining it. So just make sure you get everything dissolved first before you top up to the final volume. So yeah, it is as easy as that. It recommends sterilising the cans, the brewing sugar, add 4 litres of boiled water to the fermenter, dissolve it all, top up to 20 litres with cool tap water, add your yeast, and then stage 2 is when you're going to be adding your hops, all 3 hop packets. So it tells you to add all 3, place the lid back on top and leave for a further 4 days, allowing a full 2 weeks in the fermenter before bottling. Patience is key, but no, I think I'll be... and it's even got a little brewing notes section for your original gravity and final gravity, which is excellent. There's something that I think some of the other beer kits, you get like this tiny little bit of paper and you end up losing it and that, but to have that on there is a good start to be able to record your progress. It is fantastic. And a 4 kilos total on the back. Yeah, I never even spotted the straining bag actually, and it says it on the side, but I was so excited I didn't read half the box, and then when I opened it just before I turned the camera on to see the straining bag, I was kind of elated that that was in there. But they've also given me a little bit of information just to tell you guys about themselves. So they're a family-owned business. They've been established in 1921, so 2021 is their 100th birthday, and 2021 also marks 50 years since they launched their first ever homebrew kit, which is pretty amazing really to think that their beer kits have been going for 50 years, and for my opinion, and I guess probably I've been doing it maybe 10, 11 years now, they seem to be getting better. I think the kits have improved, I guess processes have improved, and they're just great kits. They pride ourselves on quality. Their malt is sourced within a 50-mile radius of the maltings in Stowmarket, Suffolk and Bridlington, Yorkshire, making it some of the freshest malt in the market. This combined with our rigorous quality assurance process ensures only the best malt goes into a homebrew kit. So that's testament to why they obviously taste so good, in my opinion anyway. I haven't had a bad one yet. Whether or not it's not as, like some kits might describe as being, like super hoppy and they're not as hoppy and you might be disappointed, but in terms of actual flavour and what they, for the price as well, I mean that's another fantastic thing. And now with getting kits that kind of have these hop additions and all the extra bits to it, yeah, if the kit's slightly more expensive, you're not needing to buy the extra, you're already getting it in one box, and I think that's half the battle for me, is to have it in one kit from the get-go is great, They invested in 23.5 million in green initiatives, and Muntons was a founder member of a farmer support group to improve the supply chain sustainability and reliance to have 140 farmers for its Sustainable Futures initiative. So they seem like a pretty cool company that, take care of the environment and also provide quality ingredients. So I am super excited. It's probably gone on a little bit too long actually talking before, but then the next bit will be a taste test, so the video should be quite short rather than me showing the brewing process. Yeah, very simple to brew up, as with most kits, but yeah, the extra additions are worthwhile. I think most people would agree that getting a well-known fermentous yeast included in the pack is kind of a massive head start. There was times when you used to get like almost a smaller amount of yeast than probably would have needed to get the beer going. And I guess that's another thing with this being a 7%er, you're going to guarantee that you're going to get a good start on the beer. So yeah, I can't wait to try it. So super excited. So I'm sure they'll be in the shops soon enough, and by the time this comes out they might even be in the shops. But this is the Hoppy Citrus Fruity West Coast IPA. Finally at review time at the Muntons West Coast IPA. I had a little sneaky taste as I was bottling, but this is the first kind of true bottle to be consumed. Now this is going to be a sipper, I think, because it's a 7%er, which is quite a big beer. Stop it off there. Right, so it looks reasonably cloudy, but then there was like 3 different packets of dry hops that went into it as well, so good old head on it. It smells fantastic actually. It smells as good as any kind of commercial hoppy beer that you'd expect, so I'm going to dive in. Wow. Actually, that is exceptional. Wow. That is perfect. I would say for me, in terms of a beer kit, that's up there. I mean, I probably closely compared to the Tiny Red Bull, except that this is a different style of beer. Sorry, going a bit out of focus if I'm reading. Yeah, it is fantastically hoppy. It's just really good, and to think it's done from a beer kit with very minimal fuss, that you can create a beer this good. I would say the yeast has definitely helped, you know, with this, having the USO5 instead of kind of the standard yeast that you get. Yeah, that's definitely worth the money. The kit is a premium kit, so it commands a slightly higher price, but you're getting a premium yeast. You're getting that little hop bag, which helps filter out the hops when you come to racking. Yeah, it tastes like you'd expect for what you'd paid for. I would not be disappointed paying for that again and getting that type of beer. I do think slightly maybe some of the bottles I bottled in will be questionable, because I did reuse some litre bottles, and a litre of 7% beer could be a bit dangerous, so I'm hoping to share that with some people. But wow, it is really, really tasty. And as I always forget the hops, I will run through it from the listing. You have 30 grams of Chinook, 30 of Columbus, and 30 of Summit. Yeah, and an ABV of 7%, 20 litres this one. But wow, there's not much more to say other than if you are, it's not overly bitter. I say that, but then my tastes seem to change as the years go by of what I consider bitter and what I don't consider bitter anymore. But I guess depending on the weather and the time of year, sometimes you can go through whether you like a really hoppy beer or not. But you know, it is particularly wet today, even though the sun's decided to come out now. This you'd smash this in a hot summer. It is so good, but obviously you'd have to be steady because it's a 7%er. But it is exceptionally clean as well. I mean, the kit taste that we used to have of years ago, I think is kind of very, very slowly diminished. There are probably some kits out there in the market that may still be in, but I would say, as far as I'm concerned, with the Muntons range, it's not even detectable to me. Maybe it's either changed. I personally think the brewing process has got better. But for this, if you put this in a bottle and put a label on it and give it to someone, in fact I have given a bottle out already, and they said it was a fantastic beer. Obviously they're not a home brewer, so they wouldn't have the comparison of a kit and that but they said it was as good as a commercial, and I agree, that is a fantastic drop. I really can't wait to try the rest in the range, because there's a milk stout in there, and I don't think there's really any milk stout kits out there. I don't know, you can obviously do an all grain version, but yeah, this is the range to go for. I mean, this is, for me, it might be Muntons' flagship range, but this could be my flagship range for brewing at home. Yeah, I think I'm going to try them all now. This is just lovely. I can't get enough of it. Yeah, it is beautiful. It really is good, and a good mouthfeel as well. Actually, it's carbonated, lovely. Just yeah, I'm really enamoured with that. That's the sort of beer that, if you've had a bad brewing day or a bad batch previously or something like that, that's the sort of beer that makes you think, I know why I do this hobby. That's the one. Cheers.